Alrighty guys, let's see. It's been sitting a while. Let's put it in gear and see what happens. It's got a full tank in it. I just filled it up at the gas station. Cross my fingers. Maybe I've got it. I'll have to drive it some more tomorrow. Let's see here. Turn my flash on. Alright. Jump out of here. I can actually brake torque it now. Before I could never brake torque it. I did dump some of this stuff in it. Watched a couple videos on it. But, I mean, you can see down there, I've got that's my new fuel line. The one that runs behind the motor. I didn't feel like even trying to get to that. And, it's nothing fancy. But I did take this off so I could get to it. And I pulled... I think what part was acting up was in the AFC and the governor, because I pulled the AFC housing off and then pulled the fuel plate. Somebody had modified the fuel plate, which I was told that when I got the truck. It's cut completely flush on the front of it. But when I pulled that AFC housing and flipped it, the little L-shaped bracket on it, it sure looks like that other piece that comes up and kisses on it from the governor looks like it had been, at least for some time now, probably ever since I've been having problems, looks like it'd been popping up over the top of it. And I'm wondering if it was popping up over the top of it, and then when it would come down and pop off it, it would instantly kill the truck and give me some governor issues. But it does have new solenoid, new fuel line, new fuel filter, new lift pump. I don't know if you can see it down in there, but it does have a brand new lift pump, and it was actual Cummins. I bought it, in the Cummins box. I didn't buy no cheapo one. When I dinked around with that, I put the fuel plate. I made sure that I took the fuel plate out and made sure the rack was moving freely, and as far as I can tell, it is. I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary in there. And then put the fuel plate back in. Scooted it all the way forward, and then I actually scooted the AFC housing back and then adjusted on the rod that goes through there. So hopefully I'll have to drive it a while, maybe pop it back off sometime and see where my wear pattern is. I didn't even think I should have, when I had that all degreased, I should have put black Sharpie all over it so I could see a wear pattern where that thing's hitting. But then I pulled that star wheel cap off there, and somebody had completely loosened the star wheel. It was, you couldn't even hardly see the star wheel. So I put the star wheel, I don't know, pretty close to the middle, maybe slightly forward, just a little bit from the middle. And then I backed off that screw with the Allen on the back of it just a little bit, and the power come up tremendous. This truck compared to that truck, this truck's always felt like it's had super nads, and this one has always felt like a turd no matter what. Like, you'd take off, you'd get black smoke, you'd take off, and it would just seem like it took forever to get anywhere. And then once it got into overdrive, the boost would climb, and then it would go pretty good in overdrive afterwards. But if it fell out of overdrive or anything, it always felt like a turd. It's 10 times better than what it was. I'm just barely pushing on the accelerator to do 55 now, whereas before I would have had to have half throttle. It's running way better. I'm knocking on wood that I've got it. I dumped 3/4 of this in it. Cummins actually endorses this. I dumped 3/4 of this in it and then filled it completely up with fresh diesel. So if it ends up maybe being a sticky delivery valve or something, maybe that stuff will help. When I dropped the tank and pulled the sending unit, I seen nothing wrong with the sending unit other than there's some wear on my gas gauge reader. It does have a new OFV valve. Actually, that's the second new one I put in, because I was wondering if the first one I bought was a dud or something. And that's a Torque Tech. They're supposed to be pretty good. But I'm wondering if that surgeon was the governor. I don't know. Now, after I did all this stuff, I drove it yesterday, and it did surge a little on me after it got warm, but it never quit on me. And it was only surging when I was trying to do like 25 mile an hour through town. So I don't know, maybe the governor's got a sticky spot in it from it flipping up in there. I don't know. I do have 4K governor springs that I bought for it, but it doesn't look very fun to get down there to get to them, and I don't hot rod the truck. But needless to say, I'm hoping I got it. I can only hope. And then if it wasn't for bad luck, I probably wouldn't have any luck at all. When I was test driving this thing yesterday, I don't know if you can see that mark there, and if you catch it just right, there's a deer's head. I freaking smacked the deer. It kind of busted my grill up a little bit. I pushed this back in, it lifted this up, I pushed it back down. My bumper is twinked now. I can't get my finger under it, and I can get my finger under it over here, and if you step back in far enough, it did twink my bumper just a little bit. It ripped this off and folded it out and ripped that back. I kind of tucked it all back in there the best I could, and this was kind of sticking out. I pushed this back in, but all in all, when that deer run out in front of me, I hit the brakes as hard as I could, and I still got him. But I think it could have been way worse. I've smacked deer before and done, you can see here I got kind of a broken spot here, but it could have been much worse. So, and it looks like, yeah, I think it did a little damage there, but such is life. I've only got PLPD on it, but yeah, so could have been worse. Could have completely mangled the front end, but I'll live with it. At least it wasn't that truck. That truck I care way more about than this. Is my work truck, and that one is, my nicer truck. This truck just has the illusion of being rust free. When I had a wood business or whatever, doing tree work and stuff, I had that dumper in it, and I wanted a truck that just looked decent. So the doors are decent, fenders are decent, hood's decent, and the box is fairly decent, but the cab's patched all together and the frame's getting pretty rough. In fact, somebody had put rockers in it before right here, and I didn't want to get into whatever they had, so somewhere in here is where I seamed into their other one, and then I put that rocker in, and cab corner, and I seamed the cab corner right here, and I really didn't do very good body work right there, because at the time I was gonna put that black molding like what's on this one, and it would have hid my seam perfectly, so I didn't do a super duper good job. And then I went to go buy that molding and then found out how much the molding cost, and it's like, yep, not doing that. So that's why I just took all the molding off. There's no molding. Yeah, she's getting a few scratches in her. This right here, good old Walmart. Somebody had, I think it was a white vehicle, damaged my fender flare, took that light out. The box is all damaged up here from when I had that dumper on it. I need to get around and either make a bumper or buy a bumper. I actually think I got a bumper shell up in the attic. I need to wire them lights back in, and I need to run all new ground wires because my ground wires rotted off for the side marker lights, and I got one top cab light that's not lighting up. This is a rust stain. I imagine it would buff off, but yeah. This is just a, you know, when I worked at the body shop, this is just a bunch of, you can see all the pearl in it. This is just a bunch of paint that I dumped together to get that color. And then the gray is 3 or 4 different types of paint that I dumped together to get that color as well. I taped around, you can kind of see my banana primer, but I taped around this because I didn't want to lose. But this is the original color, so I mean it's fairly close for just dumping a bunch of shit together. I thought it turned out pretty good. And if this thing's got a hodgepodge, I think it's yellow on this side, and I think I used some. This thing's got like blue, yellow, gray, black primer. I didn't want to dump a bunch into the paint job when I painted this thing. This was another Walmart incident. That's why that's new. Somebody at Walmart hit me at a different time. Walmart's dangerous. But hopefully she's fixed. I think tomorrow I'm gonna go out and do some plinking. And I know the last time I drove this out there to the plinking spot, when I went to leave, it was acting up. So that'll be a good test for it. So, but yeah, feels way better. I'm hoping I got her. I'm hoping. Because in the fuel system, about the only thing that's not changed is the sending unit. But I had the sending unit out. I checked everything out real good. I didn't see any issues there. I did not run a new return line, but I did put air pressure through the return line all the way out here. And then I put a bolt in the return line, and then I vacuum checked the return line, and there's no leaks on the return line. So I couldn't see, you know, that just spits fuel back to the tank. I couldn't see wasting money on that if there's nothing wrong with it. So, but it's got all brand new suction line, and I upgraded it to 3/8 instead of the other owner had 5/16 on it. I upgraded it to 3/8. But hopefully I got her. But I don't know. I need to get tinkering on that one. I gotta drop the fuel heater and clean the pre-screen on that. It's due for a filter. And the problem that this one's giving me, if I let it sit for 3 days, it loses prime. I'm hoping it's the fuel heater. But if I drive that truck every day, I don't have a single issue with it. So if I start it up and drive it every day, I don't have a single issue with it. But it's been sitting for 4 days now. So if I started it up, I'd get about around the block and then it would quit, and then I'll have to reprime it. But once it's primed, it stays. So it could have a hole in the return line, or it's that problematic whatever fuel heater. So, but I didn't want to dink with that one until I had this one running. So if by the weekend, if all goes good and this thing's not acting up anymore, then I'll start tinkering on that one. And then the wife's car's acting up bad too. I just ordered coils for it, so I just cannot seem to catch a break. The wife's been well, she had this stuff stacked out here, and then I stacked it up there. But the wife's been working on the wood pile quite a bit. I guess I'll show you guys that. I've been bringing it up here in the bucket and dumping it, and she's been burning the chiblets and stuff in the burn barrel. Well, everything got blurry. I don't know, it's weird. But maybe if I get farther away from the burn, might have been picking the smoke up from the burn barrel. But she's been getting a little bit of stack over there. This pile's getting down pretty small. I'm gonna have a heck of a mess. I gotta cut this. She wants to start burning this stuff. I don't want to burn this stuff through my wood stove. I think that might be a piece of white pine, but I think the rest of this is spruce. And I got 2 pieces of white pine up on the forks, but got a little walnut tree that sprouted up. I should probably dig him up and move him. But yeah, I think the rest of this is going to go up beside the garage. This stuff sat here so long, I think I'm just going to go ahead and let the wife burn this stuff. This stuff's pretty old. I need to get my brush hog dug out too. But I think at least this whole section here, I'm just going to let the wife burn. Or I might get the truck down here and load it up, get rid of it. This stuff's still pretty decent. It's splitting hard, and if I get it split and stacked up, it should be good. But I don't know as if I'm gonna worry about. I kind of took a bunch out of here and then pushed this pile back. I tried not to push too much dirt into it, but pushed it into my other pile, and then I'll let the pile build up when I start splitting. But I don't know if I'm gonna even, next year I'll probably work on burning this stuff. But yeah, I got all that stuff out at the property too. That stuff at the property is about the same age as this stuff here, this pile. So I don't know, I might end up giving that away to somebody or whatever, because I'm not gonna be able to, not selling firewood, so I'm not going to be able to move the stuff before I can burn it. But yep, so alright, I guess I'm gonna call this a video. You guys take it easy and have a good one.